Ever wondered what makes TV so powerful in Jamaica? Time to find out. Welcome to Global TV Group 358, where television meets innovation. We're not just about shows, we're about shaping society. In Jamaica, TV keeps you informed, connects diverse voices, and supports democracy. Imagine a Jamaica where broadcasters unite, sharing data and collaborating globally. That's us, a unified voice in the TV industry. Did you know TV advertising is still king? It drives website traffic, boosts brand equity, and powers integrated campaigns. Even in an age of digital, TV stands strong, resilient in tough times. Our Global TV Deck is your treasure trove of insights and data. With charts, graphs, and success stories, it's your guide to impactful TV advertising. Curious to learn more? Visit our website and see how Global TV Group 358 keeps television at the heart of entertainment in Jamaica. Get ready to binge watch the future.
Corruption is a vile disease that sucks and drains the health out of something good. Corruption in society is an evil moral infection that keeps community in the state of perpetual sickness. Corruption is a moral virus. It's so potent it leaves its host sick, lethargic, and unable to realize and accomplish all that a well person can. Where corruption thrives, poverty and not prosperity thrives. Wealth is grabbed into the greedy, grubby hands of those who get fat on the toil and labor of good people. Corruption benefits, only temporarily, those who participate in it. Everyone else is a victim of the theft, the deceit, the dishonesty, and the lies that corruption feeds on. You need to know that a corrupt person is stealing from you. Corruption is filthy work and despicable acts of treachery done under the table and behind closed doors. Corruption is a disgusting shame. Corruption keeps a nation back from true development and from progress. Wise investors steer clear of a corrupt environment. They would rather put their resources into a place where the playing field of opportunity is equal for all and not bent towards feeding the financial lust of corrupt, lying, cheating, thieving politicians and government officials. How many wonderful development projects have been lost because the investors didn't want to do business in a swamp of evil? When those great projects go to another nation or to some other place, we all lose. Believe me when I tell you that corruption steals from you, it steals from all of us. Corruption plunders the nation's wealth. Corrupt people compromise on truth, equity, and fairness, choosing instead to feed off the short-term benefits of crookedness, exploitation, and financial perversion. Corruption is not just a personal matter, it's a culture. It's a way of life, not just for individual people, but for companies, communities, governments, and nations. Corrupt nations, hiding behind large companies, will seek to invest in other weak nations in order to take over the assets of the nation that they've invested into. They will provide financial loans to a nation for the much-needed infrastructure, and they will do it with assets that they provide. They will sign contracts by lining the pockets of rotten government officials who participate in this kind of corruption and are then held hostage by their own deceit and greed. Corruption is nothing less than a form of theft and national robbery. A corrupt person steals from everyone in society.
Together, run, keep going on, let's process. For children of Israel do really love rights. So justify and I as a watchman around Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel, I should never hold thy peace. What wrong is going on? Hey, oh, we gonna bust down Babylon walls. Prepare and read the way. Prepare and read the way for your people. Let's go. Fight down, war and cry. Fight down, me say Rastafari. War and cry and do that righteousness. And we love I will love Jaja.
Jah
I will love Jaja.
Jah Rastafari, save all people.
Yeah, we love Jaja. We love Jaja.
Jah
We love Jaja.
Jah Rastafari, preserve all people.
Put time away again. Listen.
Yeah!
So just as I and I as a watchman, I run Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel. I should never hold thy peace while we penalize. Hey, oh, night. We gonna bust down Babylon gates. Prepare the way. Prepare the way for Jah Rastafari. Fight down war and
Fight down war and fight.
Rastafari, war and crime, and build up righteousness. And we love Jah, and we love Jah.
Jah
And we love Jah.
Jah Rastafari, preserve all.
And we love Jah. Me love Jah.
Jah
Me love Jah.
Jah Rastafari, preserve all.
Me love Jah.
Jah Rastafari.
When it rains, it really pours. From the Global TV family, this evening we're saying condolences to Sharon Bernard and the passing of her sister. We're very sorry to hear of your sister's passing, and we will all keep you in our prayers. Once again, condolences from the Global TV family. The Prime Minister is away in New York on official visit. Bear in mind that he just returned from South Africa and gave us a good walloping for what he saw from abroad. What is the Prime Minister's official what is said to be official business? If the Prime Minister is on official business, then the office of the Prime Minister ought to be able to give us some information as to what business, official business, the Prime Minister is on. Because if the Prime Minister is on official business, the Prime Minister is on the nation's business, our business that we pay for. We are also picking up the expenses for the Prime Minister's travel to New York to do business. Could it be also that the Prime Minister has been called to hand in his resignation, similar to what Bruce Golding faced then? What would be a woo-ha-la-la? Remember, I also told you the other day that the international community is not happy with Andrew's handling of Melissa and wants Andrew to resign. Let's see where it all maga and pop off when the Prime Minister comes back. Or again, could it be that the Prime Minister has just gone to give away our corpse? You know, he gave away the rest of us the other day. Maybe he's just going to give our corpses away. You might never know. Dr. Spirosis is telling us that leptospirosis is on the rise, and death from leptospirosis is also on the rise. Yet still, Dr. Spirosis is telling us not to be alarmed. He's also telling the tourists, don't worry. It is safe for you too. I wonder if the Americans are watching. They must be, because Andrew go up there for official business. I wonder what the Americans want to talk to Andrew about. Is it remortgaging our corpse or asking Andrew to resign because of the plethora of corruption around him? Don't know yet. But we have to wait and see. No, sir? Tanasi na po na dance, Prime Minister. Prime Minister, Tanasi don't while no dance. When you see your government especially for us, a tiny country, strategic though we are, in such a collaboration with the Americans. I'm sorry, I forget to say, I've changed my background to keep my community and the devastation of my community in focus. When you see your government and the Americans in a back and forth, you must be worried. You ought to be worried. I mean, worried, sick, worried. When Donald Trump had his first term, Donald Trump and Tapia had it in for Jamaica and the Chinese. Straight away, Donald Trump come back. When you see a president just coming up power, him sending foreign secretary to him big friend them, UK, Europe, Japan, so on and so forth, South Korea. Him send them go to them big countries. One big good evening, everybody. How no do? Sorry, my manners. Evening. How no do? Foreign secretaries normally go to them big partners, like them G20 partners. Those are the first set of places a foreign secretary of the United States would visit when a new president takes over. Jamaica is nowhere in that league. For Marco Rubio to come to Jamaica so quick after being anointed. We see the order what we get from them with the Cuban nurses them, and we have to bow to them. We see the amount of money where Andrew got South Africa got bailing, and the amount of money where Andrew take from the IMF and the World Bank and all of that. So right here now, our little prostitute friend of a prime minister is being owned. There could be many things here. The prime minister could be given his instructions or warning, or he might even be asked to hand in his resignation. We will have to see when the prime minister comes back. But what official business is so important for the prime minister to go and do in New York when we have people lying in the elements in Jamaica, when we have the whole apparative Black River and all about popped down? 7 parishes across the country, prime minister, and you have time to be going here and there. I wonder what the statement will be in Parliament when he comes back next week. Because if he's coming back Tuesday, then we expect a statement from the Prime Minister in Parliament on Tuesday. Because the Prime Minister said, the article said, official business, the Prime Minister gone pan. Official business is the nation's business. We're not asking for the fine detail of what the Prime Minister has gone to discuss, give away, take instruction, or beating for. But we ought to know the purpose of the visit. Dana Morris Dixon. We ought to know the purpose of the visit. Does anyone know how much we want to know? How much of the Prime Minister delegation? How much I know? Are just the Prime Minister alone gone, or the Prime Minister took a delegation with him? Because if the Prime Minister is gone on official business, when you're traveling on official business, you also carry a delegation with you, you also, as a leader of a country, the media from your country travel with you, at least JIS and PBCJ. So the Prime Minister can't get up and say gone for official business and the nation don't give a reason for the visit, or what business is it? What part of the nation business is the Prime Minister going to discuss? Is this anything in relation to Melissa? Is this in relation to the economy? Is this in relation to economic or security? What it is? Is it in relation to corruption? What it is we want to know. It's our business. It's not Andrew Holness's business. So the office of the Prime Minister, I tell you, so the Prime Minister gone for official business, but they have not provided us any detail. Like seriously? If Andrew Holness is going off for a private holiday, then that's the Prime Minister's business. Even that we can question. But when it is said that the Prime Minister is going on official business, when it is said that the Prime Minister is going on official business, it's our business, the nation business. At least we ought to know the purpose. At least we ought to know the purpose. And we must, Jamaica, make Andrew Holness stop man anger with. We can't make Andrew Holness just a run the show, one man, just a walk and a draw away and a sell we here and a sell we there. So, you know the amount of debt Andrew put us in? And we don't know what Andrew gone give away our tech behind we back. We cannot continue like this, Jamaica, make one man, one family have total autonomy over the country. How did we get here? Everything in the parliament, what you call it? Everything in the parliament, them bully, you know. Everything in a parliament is about bullying these days. We're never going to get headways in parliament on anything, given what is going on. Is this the exchange between Nikita Bertel and them lot? Hold on, let me see.
Mr. Hunter,
Yeah.
coming from South St. James, there were some road projects that we would have wanted to have advanced before Hurricane Melissa. She has made those worse. I know we're concentrating on trying to clear the roads. NAA is in South doing that presently. But do you have you started to work on the time that you're going to be getting back to fixing those major corridors? And I'm speaking of Montpelier. My second question is with respect to the estimates here. I note you did not get any great increase in terms of the allocation. Is it that you have enough money to do all the roads? So when I call you, the roads and stuff and the bridges will be taken care of, or NAA is not factored in as a, I'm sorry, I'm having a difficult time hearing you. Okay. Right. So, but I'm noting that your thing is.
Chairman, we are, thank you, Mr. Chairman. We are here dealing with the supplementary budget. I want us to get an understanding, and maybe you as a chairman who is senior in here, to say to the younger persons that when we are here, it's really about a national issue and not a localized issue. Because if we spend time on local issue. Then all the members of parliament here will go local, and it takes up the time that we don't have.
Thank
So
you.
let us stick with democracy.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Both Mr. Clark and Mrs. Holness today spoke about matters relating to their constituencies. I'm happy that they have no. I am happy they've no come. I'm happy they've no come. They've now had a come to Jesus moment. Mr. Hunt.
Everywhere it's about bullying. How are we going to get question answer in our parliament? How are we ever going to get the nation's business discussed in our parliament? I wonder, remember the Prime Minister jump out of his sleep and say, I will not be threatened. I will not be threatened. I wonder if the American them threatening him. Another thing they talk about, Andrew, we will see when you return from New York if you're going to have to hand in your resignation. But we want an explanation as to what official business the Prime Minister is on, because if it's official business, it's the nation's business. So we ought to know at least the purpose of that visit.
Jamaica is such a resilient and special country, and we will get through this. I think we should approach an announcement.
I don't know why this is so crowded and low.
Where this event has caused us to retrace our steps substantially from the economic path we were on, and which the nation incurred substantial sacrifices to get to where we were. I'm not blaming the government for Melissa. That would be absurd. I'm not blaming the government for seeking resources to fund the recovery. It's going to be necessary to get those resources. I am just making the point that this is not something to celebrate. This is not something to gloat about. This represents a substantial setback for Jamaica, and it represents an if it's not administered properly, it could permanently weaken our future prospects and damage the country's future.
Hold on there. Whose question?
And I want it to be clear that I don't need to be threatened. I just want that to be clear. I am not going to accept any threats about if you know. No, that is not.
You know hear what the threat is about? If you know. Hey. You know hear what the threat is about? Something Mark Golding had talked to him about and say, if you know, that is the threat, globalists. Can you believe it? Did the Prime Minister retract his support for the war crime in the South Caribbean Sea now that the Secretary of Defense is in hot water for possible war crime charges? He's an idiot, Philly Yard vibes. He's an idiot who follows wherever his master goes. Every other leader in the world, except for Andrew Holness and the Trinidadian Posse, knows that Donald Trump is committing war crime in the Caribbean Sea. When Andrew Holness, the chair of CARICOM, sits in South Africa and gave the green light, not only then, he did the same thing at the United Nations earlier this year. When Andrew Holness, in the same zone where him care about tourism only and not about with life, gave Donald Trump the green light to continue with his bombing campaign on innocent fishermen. Something America doesn't have legal authority to do, because this is not America's water. America using drugs cartel as a pretext to invade a sovereign country, a duly elected president. This is the danger our prime minister is putting us in. Remember, under Trump's first term as well, he takes side against Maduro with Trump. Andrew Holness continuously putting us in danger, and we allow Andrew Holness to continue like him own with country and the whole of us in it.
And I want it to be clear that I don't need to be threatened. I just want that to be clear. I am not going to accept any threats.
So the goose and gander don't apply here then, because that the same prime minister just threatened the whole nation with it. And it's the same prime minister couple days backwards and come tell the whole of us, say, I'm not going to accept any threat from anybody. I'm making it clear. Any threat for go on round here, and me want to issue them out. Do you understand how serious this is becoming? Do you all understand how serious Andrew Holness' narcissistic behavior is becoming? Do you understand that it is threatening our security? Do you understand that Andrew Holness' behavior is threatening the life of our nation? We cannot discuss anything in our parliament anymore. Andrew Holness used the security services like his toys. Andrew Holness used the country's money like his public purse. And it no bother we. It no bother we. We're all right with it. And the worst thing about it, the worst part of it, we go on and talk about democracy. That is the worst part of it. When you hear Jamaicans, especially Jamaicans who supports Andrew Holness, when you hear these people talk about democracy, do they understand what they're talking about? When power is concentrated in a family? And you're still talking about democracy? The government, Andrew Holness runs half of the executive. Andrew Holness control half of the executive. The few other cabinet positions when give out, he still overshadow them. So he run the entire executive. His wife control the legislature. Nobody can ask no question in there. She all want to fix how you ask your question them and how long your question them be. We're not going to get anywhere if we don't see the danger of this family. If we don't see the danger of this family, we invade and take over our country. When we are going to see it? when we wake up with under martial law, when we wake up with Andrew deploying army them power and tell us if it turn away yard, when Andrew suspend our laws and using emergency powers, suppose when Andrew come back, Andrew declare in martial law galangin for enforce someone of him ungodly galangin, whether be him needs or whatever he want to enforce. Because Andrew ungodly agendas, we don't know what they are. Andrew walk and sign way up and tell way out to any and everybody, and we don't know the details of anything. Andrew Holness take loans that will put us in debt for eternity. Our children, grandchildren, great grandchildren, and great 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 grandchildren will be paying back Melissa's debt. And Prime Minister come down from official business and tell me what am I going to do? Official business where we pick up the purse for money where we don't have. The Prime Minister yet the Prime Minister, remember, say the Prime Minister is chairing cabinet and all that jazz and the emergency cabinets and so on, even though I have a deputy, the dead man deputy. But what is the priority at the moment? Walk up and down and shake hand with the high and mighty, or really get things done on the ground? Because the big head soldier man there want to put in there the youth out of his debt. Me don't know why you not see. Me don't know why you not seen say Alvin Gale is out of his debt. Yes, I've been Andrew and he wait to New York. You can't run go up, they go pull out in here for me or pluck him in the eye. The Prime Minister has got, let me find the flyer. The Prime Minister has gone to New York on official business from Thursday to Saturday. Official business, you see it? And anybody alive, the gleaner. Anybody alive, Abina? Are the gleaner. Official business. If the Prime Minister has gone on official business, just come back from official business of South Africa and gone to New York on official business. If the Prime Minister has traveled on official business, this official business the nation pays for. This official business is the nation's business. Thereby, at least the purpose of the visit we ought to be given by the information minister. So then can also come to us the Prime Minister business. This is not the Prime Minister property development or taxi company or whatever. Are the whole of them, but the United Nations, IMF, and the World Bank, are them, if any throwing up against wall I go on, is between all of them people there. Because remember, say Andrew go take up all heap of money from them were there. Andrew go take up all heap of money from them. So remember when India tell about this will come in advisory policy and this, if I don't know and hear me not come out and play it back again. The decisions going forward for our country, legislatively, socially, security-wise, infrastructure-wise, the decisions will not be made by Andrew Holness. Andrew Holness signed us over to the IMF and the World Bank when he took that 6.7 billion US dollars. He left for New York to attend the funeral of the Secretary General, while dozens are dying from leptospirosis. Which Secretary General? Which Secretary General did? Which Secretary General? User, tell me which Secretary General when you talk. This is the problem we may have with me no hear no plan from the government no in relation to anything. Abab's in charge, Jesus Christ, Kachang sick down. Kakaruku. So Kamina Johnson gone with him. Which Secretary General funeral? Secretary General funeral of what? That's not official business. Must be. Do you mean the GC of New York that recently? But my me never say something with the F1, something with the fear. I mean, I think she did bury already. What's your name again? But I did see something fair with you, like something did done fair already. Well, if that is the reason, why can the Prime Minister not say, why can the office of the Prime Minister not give us that detail? And is it really a priority that the Prime Minister goes at this point? Couldn't the Prime Minister be represented by Kamina Johnson Smith, the Foreign Secretary? The Foreign Affairs Minister or Foreign Secretary, same thing. If it is that the Prime Minister have to attend the Consular General's funeral, lady died the other day, and one paid tribute in Parliament at least 1 week. No, but in a time of crisis, the Prime Minister is leading the charge. Yes, somebody ought to attend the funeral. That's why you have a Minister of Foreign Affairs. And in a case like this, it is okay for the Prime Minister to be represented by Kamina Johnson Smith. The Prime Minister has a lot on his plate handling. The Prime Minister have an awful lot on his plate. The Prime Minister is in charge of security. The Prime Minister is in charge of defense. The Prime Minister is in charge of thinking their growth and infrastructure. The Prime Minister is in charge of a lot of things. Even the minions in the Prime Minister's office. The Prime Minister is the be all and end all. Because in the economic growth and infrastructure, we don't even change the job creation part to infrastructure. The Prime Minister have a lot of other things under it. What him still turn Headman Jankro over. So Andrew Holness, with a country in crisis, people depend roadside asleep, people are sleeping at the element, people homeless, roofless, displaced, hungry and thirsty. Me not see the reason for the Prime Minister travel up and down like a filly. So I don't see the importance of this thing, because the only thing come out of the Prime Minister travel to South Africa, we were put in debt, and the Prime Minister promised investors to sell it to investors. That's all. But the Prime Minister gone to New York, unless a beating the Prime Minister gone take, or the Prime Minister gone hand in resignation to the CIA. Me don't know which one. But we don't see the reason for the country spend money sending Andrew Holness here and there. Jamaica is not all that important in the international scheme of diplomacy. So the Prime Minister run up and down like Jamaica doesn't have a foreign policy. Jamaica doesn't have a foreign policy. A government with foreign policy like the United States will enforce them policy around the world and everybody run up and down. What kind of galangin with Andrew Holness and Donald Trump and Marco Rubio since he come in? And from Donald Trump and Marco Rubio come in, we country just going down the hill back way, so as what Auntie Dana did say. Hmm? Me not understand. This closeness with Andrew Holness and Donald Trump ain't gonna go down well for us. Andrew Holness giving Donald Trump the green light to come drop bombing at the Caribbean waters. Andrew Holness will give Donald Trump green light to come provoke Russia in our backyard. Because the troublesome American them try to stop a Russian oil ship from going to Venezuela. So they're provoking the war from all angles. But you see, you America, you go get where you want because you reach to a point where the best you could find, the best you could find, your last two presidents are mad. This is where America get to. America can't find nobody sane for elect again. You elect Biden, Biden pissed on himself, shit on himself, talk to himself. No, you this year 1 year, you have him in a care home and damn shit and I talk from 3 o'clock a morning right back to 3 o'clock a morning. This is where America reach. America can't elect a sane president anymore. And this is where Andrew Holness a follow. America, where Europe, where the Britain and so on and so forth, top share intelligence with America because of the same extrajudicial killing with Donald Trump do. And Andrew Holness, weeks after that, knowing that because it was well publicized, Andrew Holness sat down and agreed to Donald Trump bombing. Andrew Holness made not one mention of international law. Not one mention of international law. All Andrew was cared about it was sucking up to Donald Trump. That's all. That's all Andrew care about, sucking up to Donald Trump. It now go anywhere up good Jamaica. This hug up and love up with Andrew Holness. This hug up and love up with Andrew Holness I do with the Americans them. It's not going to go down well for us. Look pa the hurricane galangin where we in here now. And the outbreak of leptospirosis where we have. You know how useful the skills of the Cuban them would be to we right now? And see there, then take them and throw aside. I tell you, no, say, Jamaica is in a war. Jamaica is in a war. Don't see Jamaica as a disaster zone. See Jamaica as a war zone. Your prime minister is signing a lot of dodgy deals at the moment. Your prime minister is involved in a lot of money laundering at the moment. Jamaica, keep your eyes on Andrew Holness. Because when you wake up out of this, you might just be too sorry.
Prior to the hurricane, of course, Jamaica was doing well economically. What is the outlook now, especially when you consider unemployment, debt, and the like?
Hurricane Melissa could only be described as an atomic bomb of wind and rain that left a trail of destruction through 7 of our 14 parishes. It is estimated that the physical loss of assets would be somewhere in the region of about 8.8 billion US dollars, amounting to approximately 40% of our GDP. 900,000 persons have been impacted. 150,000 homes have been impacted. We've lost 45 of our citizens have died. And it has generated debris to the extent of about 480,000 standard truckloads. So you get a sense of the devastation. But Jamaica is not down and out. The other half of the country is functioning, doing well. And so the strategy is to keep our economy going as much as possible and to use the other half of the country to drive and support the recovery of the half that has been damaged.
Have you been able to secure any additional financing or foreign aid during your trip here for rebuilding?
So to answer your question in two parts, firstly, we were prepared from a financial perspective, a fiscal perspective, by having a catastrophe bond, insurance, and contingent.
They not talk. You hear much about the 8 foot or more flood through the water surge through the whole Galanginia? No. And this is why I disagree with removal of us from the coastline, and I'll tell you why. Right around Jamaica, people live on coastline. What we need is government support. But because, them have an intention to displace the people, but the Prime Minister have no interest in speaking about the tidal surge, because where we live on the coastline there, the tidal surge went about 2-3 miles inland, all the way from the coastline. Water was all the way up to people's neck. So yes, me know, so we on the coastline, it's risky for we. But it's not more risky for us than the rest of the community, as Melissa showed us. Because water went all the way past Springfield, Pice Grove, making its way up to Hilltop. In Spice Grove, water went to people's neck. And that's over 1.5 miles from the coastline. So if that is the reason for us abandoning the coastline, that would apply to a vast swathe of the family. Because if we get another 8-foot tidal surge or one bigger than that, it's not us on the coastline that alone that is at risk. A broad swathe of parity is in danger, as what Melissa would have taught us. What we need is proper infrastructure, proper retaining wall along our coastline. These are the things them where Andrew Holness have put we in a debt for, them the money for do, repair the infrastructure damage, them crater you wanna see in a parity, repair these craters so we can rebuild back our lives. We're not in a more danger than anybody else in a Jamaica. We're not in a more danger than anybody else who live on coastline in a Jamaica. Because right around the entire Jamaica, where people live on coastline. And as when Melissa showed we, a tidal surge prevent a broader risk than the coastline. Melissa showed that the risk is much, much broader So we would have to vacate people at least 3 to 4 miles from the coastline have to be cleared. Where are going to put the people then? We're not in the hurricane no come every day. The fact that we don't make a category 5 hurricane for no own purpose no means say God go get up and give you one every day because he never give you one yet at Jamaica. And he never give you one exactly what no one build on a city and develop on the South Coast tourism. This private that keep walking and prostituting us.
Borrowing up to about $1.1 billion. We will have to borrow more than that. We estimate that the recovery that the government would have to support would be somewhere in the region of $4 to $6 billion. And so we are in the process of negotiating, talking to the international financial institutions about how they can support Jamaica. So my presence here today has been very successful in that regard, in mobilizing the resources and support of the international financial institutions.
Do you think it might be debt issuance? Would it be foreign aid? What
It will be a
your
mix.
ideal
It will be a
scenario?
mix. It will be a mix of things, but clearly most of it would be debt. Now it all depends on what kind of debt. Is it concessional debt? Is it long-term debt? Is it debt that is linked specifically reconstruction? Is it debt that we can use to support private initiative and private sector? Is it supporting de-risking some of these products? So it's going to be a blend of approaches to support and finance the recovery effort.
Is that something you're talking to President Ramaphosa about? What have the discussions with the leaders then been here?
I've met with several leaders, and all of them have expressed solidarity with Jamaica. And we will have varying support, whether it is relief support, recovery support, long-term reconstruction support, financial support. As it relates to South African President Ramaphosa, I will be meeting with him in a few minutes. So I'll have a better sense as to what South Africa will do.
Do you think there needs to be more done in terms of climate financing? That was something that was important for President Ramaphosa as part of the G20. That is something that a nation like Jamaica should push for and does push for. Do you think there's been progress on those discussions?
I think a lot has been said about climate financing. But I do agree with you, much more needs to be done in terms of making funding more accessible, which has always been a significant challenge of just accessing, and in developed countries keeping their commitment to funding some of the initiatives in climate change and resilience building.
Does the declaration go far enough then that we got out of this G20?
I think the declaration is a strong declaration in this regard. I will say this though, the climate change movement is obviously being challenged, as is the multilateral movement. For small countries like Jamaica, we don't see climate change as an academic discourse. Climate change is a reality. We're seeing more intense, more frequent, and overlapping weather events, which could be attributed to a change in the climate, whether it is natural or man-made. The truth is that the change in the climate is having an impact on the balance sheets of countries. We could wake up one day and one event, 40% of our GDP is wiped out. So for us, climate change is a practical thing, and the way to respond to it is for the global architecture, whether it is a financial architecture or the way in which countries relate to each other bilaterally, is to build resilience. So resilience is the bridge, I believe, where both arguments and perspectives should meet.
Prime Minister, I just want to finish on one point. Of course, the U.S. president is not here, but we have seen increased tensions in your region between the U.S. and Venezuela, very close to Jamaica. How do you assess the situation at this point? What are the
Listen to your Prime Minister, Jamaica.
We always maintain that the Caribbean is a zone of peace, and we want to ensure that it is a zone of peace. Any action that challenges that or changes that view would have or could have devastating impact on tourism.
Devastating impact on tourism.
which is the major foreign exchange earner for most countries in the Caribbean. Having said that, however, there must be consideration for countries in the region for rising crime, rising transshipment, and drugs. So there is need to tackle this business of drugs, transshipment, and rising crime linked to these operations in the region. So whatever is being done should be done with consideration for the economy of the region, safety and respect for the sovereignty of the people. But Jamaica does support actions against drug cartels and other actors that create crime and violence in our country.
Have you spoken to
Andrew Holness does support not Jamaica. You have not consulted us on that. We want to say happy birthday to Lorraine Taylor. Hope you had an amazing day from the Global TV family. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Today a new year has begun. Today the old chapter is closed. Today is your birthday. Happy birthday to you. Today a new year has begun. Today the old chapter is closed. Today is your birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. May God bless you.
Once again, Lorraine Taylor, happy birthday. Jamaica, this is serious time. Serious, serious times. There's so much going on in our nation. There's an unfolding disaster. There's an unfolding disaster. The Prime Minister to date has not given us a plan. All the Prime Minister did is restructure ADPEM, take it into his office and put an incompetent gentleman at the head. The government also told us that we don't work out yet how we're going to spend the money, so we don't start spending it yet while people are still homeless. The government get a lot of resources in food and a lot of other support from international donors. We are yet to see those support on the ground for the people. There's a leptospirosis outbreak in the country, something that the government was warned about and could have put measures in place and have up until today failed to do those things. But our Prime Minister have the time to be traveling abroad doing what? Doing what? Literally, we don't know. Even though the Prime Minister says it's official business, which would be the nation's business, but we are not told what it is. Whether he's attending a funeral or the Prime Minister has been summoned by the American to explain something, anything. But we cannot let Andrew Holness take our country and be his. We can't make Andrew Holness go around and tell the world that we support Donald Trump. We cannot let Andrew Holness go around the world, go around and tell the world that we are against President Maduro. We're not. We literally aren't. Andrew Holness may be. Andrew Holness may be forced into. Andrew Holness, though him not afraid of nobody, may be afraid of Donald Trump and Marco Rubio, because Andrew Holness cannot oppose anything illegal or immoral that Donald Trump and Marco Rubio does. You know, see the unfolding of Donald Trump and the Epstein galang in them with Donald Trump promised to release and failed to release. But even though Gypsy jobs have come out that show that Donald was in close league with the prolific pedophile, are you aware of that, MPM? Are you aware? But then again, it's no better than Prince Charles and for him entire family and friends of pedophiles and wrong'uns. I don't think they really are much far from each other. Birds of a feather. But we can't make Andrew Holness grown and take we like him tie. We can't make Andrew Holness grown and walk and tell the world and put we in a problem with the world. Say we agree with fuckery. We literally can't do that. Because when Andrew Holness sit down and say Jamaica supports whatever and say Jamaica support, who and Andrew Holness have those conversations? Who and the Prime Minister have those conversations? That the Prime Minister jog with in a problem. Look upon how we used to get cheap oil from Venezuela, and because of Andrew Holness and the ass kissing, we're not getting it anymore. And Andrew Holness said Donald Trump a walk and kill off people in the Caribbean, and Donald Trump and Andrew Holness take side with Donald Trump. And I draw we in a hit, so we agree to it. We don't know we don't know where to talk about Andrew Holness. The world, Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro, we don't know what Andrew Holness to talk about. We, the people of Jamaica, don't know what the Prime Minister, the dictator of Jamaica is talking about. Uno know say so dictator tan, then take up on their head and talk what they want to talk, and then bully the rest of it into believing it and walk and talk. We don't labor right Andrew Holness. A labor right alone done in Jamaica. A labor right alone to synchronize thinking in Jamaica Prime Minister. A labor right alone you can rage bait in a Jamaica Prime Minister. You can't rage bait. We rage bait you a lot of the time. We Prime Minister, we always rage bait you. One of the most recent rage bait is how Jamaicans have done well and show you up in a disaster, and you become so enraged, Prime Minister. It's like the people of Jamaica doing good or the people of Jamaica doing better than you was a real rage bait for you. It looked like the people doing good, Prime Minister. It looked like the people doing better than you was a real rage bait for you, because the way how you come out, you come out like Sansia. The way how you come out for the nation and you tell us say you're not afraid of nobody. Then you come back to Parliament, come tell us say, I will not be threatened. So how come you can't stand up to the American? We tell you all the while, so when Andrew upon the international stage, he's a baby. Him tone, him demeanor, everything changed. And then when he come back a yard, him roll up him sleeve and put him shoulder and neck. Andrew Holness, where you no size? Where you no size Andrew Holness? You know, see nobody a walk and draw way up and down over the stolen goods. Andrew Holness, you don't see nobody a walk and draw with up and down over there stolen goods. Everywhere we turn Andrew Holness, we see people are draw you over stolen goods. So don't talk to me like we are the same. The reason why you even talk is because you don't have no shame. Because leaders will have shame and like a dignity and certain morals about them prime minister would have resigned and go off in the sunshine and go enjoy the hope of stolen money. But you sit down and wait for something. You sit down and wait to go down in a disgrace, Andrew Holness. Andrew Holness, you're full, you cry, you see him one tell you where they say your belly full. And you see him one. This can go so she's royal, no go so. Tyrese is having a fundraiser tomorrow in Miami and invited Andrew. And money involved, so I think that's why. Me not think something could have go so. That is not enough for a prime minister to left a nation pan dot in a disease. That is not enough for a prime minister to left a nation pan dirt in a disease. Because the prime minister have the lady with her neck on her shoulder. The prime minister have the little girl, you know, the little girl where Buju says she not go sell herself or do this thing the long business. Yeah. So if it is that the prime minister is invited to such, this is why the prime minister have a foreign secretary, and this is why the prime minister have a junior minister in the Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Minister of Foreign Affairs. So thereby, if it come to something like a them there, the prime minister sends them with whatever I want right in their hand miggle, send go on and knock in their go the head. It's not anything of any importance. It doesn't gain priority over Jamaicans in destitution. It really doesn't. So the office of the Prime Minister ought to give us an explanation for the official visit. What it is, what's the urgency of it, why it couldn't have waited, why it couldn't have been postponed. Why is it that the Prime Minister have so much time to do everything, but no time to do the nation business? Or the Prime Minister got foreign 2 times and he not reach a parity yet. The Prime Minister got foreign 2 times. 2 times. No, since burial. 2 times. And he not reach a parity yet. As a far parity there? As a far parity there? That the Prime Minister go all the way to Africa and come back, beat way up, bust up we mouth, check the way, Peter Dot and said that dry. And the Prime Minister walk off, gone foreign, and then he will give us another good old beating when he come back over something where we don't even know. Like seriously? Jamaica, we have to check Andrew Holness. We can't hand over our country to Andrew Holness and these synchronized thinking labor right. Because they are synchronized thinkers, you know. You see, if Andrew Holness says something, even when they know it is wrong, even when they know it is not true, when you listen to the synchronized thinkers of the Jamaica Labour Party, all of them try to convince you that it goes off it too. Or all of them try to convince you that the Prime Minister is right. It's synchronized thinking. They cannot think unless Andrew Holness give them a narrative. And when Andrew Holness gives them a narrative, especially lying, silly ones, they go there and make a total mockery of themselves. You can know many labor rights don't read. You just listen to their conversation across social media and you know them don't read. Don't read or can't read, whichever one. Don't argue whichever one, but there's a serious problem with information when it comes to Andrew Holness supporters. That's why they are synchronized thinker. It's only what come out of the prime minister mouth goes so. And if you hold the prime minister to account, is because you're a PNP or you're grudgeful or you're bad mind. I've never seen, but I don't understand it because these are some of the same people that will criticize Donald Trump and Keir Starmer and other foreign president and get involved in other foreign business. Look when Jamaica and they robbed Trump over the visa galanging. They all went for Trump. But you think Andrew Holness is above criticism? And Andrew Holness is the same criminal like Trump. It's only because Jamaica don't have a system like America where Andrew Holness not found guilty in a few country, like how Donald Trump found guilty in America. But this lovey-dovey, this sudden lovey-dovey relationship with Andrew Holness and the Americans, it's not gonna go down good for us. Me now ask Christ. Anyway, you see America poke them nose, there's a oil or natural resources interest. Anyway, you see Donald Trump not afraid to tell you, say, at the oil he's going after in Venezuela, you know. He's stupid enough. He's not one of them president where tell a serious lie like President Bush. He just says it plain as it is. Drill, baby, drill. We're going for the aisle. I don't think Maduro should have control over so much oil. This is what Andrew Holness is supporting. It's going to, if war breaks out in the Caribbean, it's going to create a refugee crisis. It's going to create an economic crisis. It's going to create a food crisis. It's going to create an inflation crisis. Even though your prime minister is only mainly concerned about tourism. Other than tourism, Donald Trump could take his pick. But this will spell various crises for us. And our prime minister who is cheering the region, because when Andrew Holness went to the G20, you know, Andrew Holness never just represented Jamaica. Andrew Holness also represented CARICOM at the G20. So we cannot Jamaica. I don't know. I feel like I'm at my wit's end because you know what? Things are changing. Things are changing and moving so fast around us. But still I think our people are lacking the understanding of what is happening and is lacking the urgency of the time and situation we're in Jamaica. We are being sold with our eyes wide shut. We are being sold Jamaica with our eyes wide shut. Our country is been changing around us, Jamaica, with our eyes wide shut. If we don't wake up now, by the time we wake up, we are slaves in our country. Makeba, in their constitution, you don't imprison a sitting president, but those sentence can still be imposed on him after he leaves office. So Donald Trump is not exactly out of the woods. It's just that once he's been elected as the president, that stalls whatever prosecution was going on against him. But given that the sentence was passed before he assumes office, then a judge can still decide to sentence or fine him or whatever penalty they want to impose on him after his 4-year tenure comes to an end. So he's not all the way out of the woods, I believe. But we don't have any form of justice in a free country that would bring Andrew Holness to justice, because if we have any justice in our country, Andrew Holness could never have been prime minister. Given the cloud, and when I say cloud, I don't mean silver cloud. I mean dark cloud, rain cloud, storm cloud over the prime minister's integrity. That alone disqualifies the prime minister, because there's a huge lack of trust. There's a huge lack of trust in the prime minister. Even Metrosiaga prime minister don't trust you with the money. Prime Minister Metrosiaga, president of the private sector, is one who always run out in your defense. But then Metrosiaga know how your teeth and know how your long yai. So even Metrosiaga run come out and ball say, Andrew, we don't want it to be that you and the thief in PMP them alone have hype and the money. Or we don't want it to be you and your thief in labor right them alone. We want a national body. Everybody run out and tell Andrew saying we want to see. We want to see. And that's why the prime minister get angry and angry. But we not back off. Andrew Holness, we not back off. The more rage you get in, we're going to come closer. By the time you come back from foreign, you may pick up another rage bait. But Jamaicans, vloggers, entertainers, charity, continue to do well by the people. Continue to do whatever you can for the people. And I tell you why. The prime minister is using you all as his pretext to deny support to the people or limit the support or introduce his cashless system through the support or introduce his NIDS system through the support. And that is one of the things we must watch closely, how this whole ID replacement thing is going to be done, and how this whole vulture thing is going to be operated, how much of a dollar value it is, and how often will those vulture be distributed. And for that matter, where can they be spent? Can they be spent at the local shop or at the supermarkets? And when you're spending them, do you need to show ID that it's your name on the vulture, we need clarity. You can't just broad brush. But I be a broad brushing where I get from the storm, though, you know. I be a broad brushing where I get from the storm. Up until to the day, we don't get no fine detail about nothing, because when poor Master Gale went to the Public Appropriations and Administration Committee, the poor old guy, pitiful, pitiful. I mean, he could be Favor's son. He could be Favor's son. Jamaica, we're on a road. Maybe the road like I wish the one them where we see Melissa just smash up. Don't know if that road we're on will take us to our journey. The driver smoke, drink, and turn drunk. The older will fall asleep in the bus, and the driver alone with the guineas in their hand just upon a joyride. So, because Jamaica is a joyride at the moment. Jamaica is a joyride at the moment, and it's one family enjoying the joyride. One family enjoy the joyride. And them want to sleep well at night. And them want to eat well. And them want to go to bed comfortable. And them tell the nation how much you have spend. And them tell the nation what question you can ask. This is where a country where our ancestors have fought, bled, and died to bring us freedom. We make a house slave, and that people want to feel slave and bring we back in a slavery. House slave. One a master, special ones. House slave. We make a bring we back in a slavery. And then and we talk about democracy. We talk about them. We say, I want to hold on head and lick against wall and talk about democracy, you see. I really want to beat on up. Because you're talking nonsense. It can't be a democracy when you don't have a voice. It can't be a democracy when you cannot ask questions in the highest debating chamber in our country. It's not a democracy. If the wife is telling you to shut up, if you can't get to ask the husband a question because the wife blocks the question, and you all talk about democracy. Democracy for many Jamaicans is just to be disgraceful and disrespectful. For many Jamaicans, democracy does not involve critical thinking or asking questions. It's just about being disgraceful and being disrespectful for most of them. That's what they think democracy is all about, or free speech is all about. Some of them talk about free speech, and they are so afraid to even question the government's corruption, crookedness, blatant stealing. So don't talk about democracy. Because you don't understand it. That's why we don't have problem when loudmouth people like me talk. Because democracy doesn't permit you to stay silent. Democracy is not about waving the thing around. I live in a democracy. It's my democracy. It's my free speech. Are you using it though? Are you using it, and are you using it within your interests? Are you using it for your betterment? Because half of you all waving around. It's my democracy. It's my free speech. And then when you say the Prime Minister, Mr. Prime Minister, sir. If I see Andrew Holness or Flag Green, I'll call them junker in front of them face. The most they can do is slap me in my face. But that doesn't say I'm not going to call them junker. And because me the media, why me criticize them? Criticize K-Star and Prince Charles same way. We criticize Donald Trump same way. What is so special about Andrew Holness? Why nothing I hate, we hate him? Or then, if we hate Andrew Holness, what is there about Andrew Holness for anybody to like? Have you seen Andrew Holness' behavior? Have you listened to Andrew Holness? Have you seen the ring of corruption that bedevils Andrew Holness? The Prime Minister lost respect when he couldn't keep his finger in his pocket. The Prime Minister lost respect for the nation when he speak to us like a hog and a street boy, and I don't speak to the international community. What's there about Andrew Holness to respect? The Prime Minister have a daughter and the Prime Minister refused to speak about his daughter in public. The Prime Minister refused to tell the nation about his daughter, which is about 19, 20 years or older, at most 21. What is there to respect about a Prime Minister who have a daughter out there, the one daughter we me know of, and him refuse to talk about him daughter? What is there to respect about a Prime Minister who when he come in a parliament, him name no stop call up on other woman, all woman in a parliament? What is there about Andrew Holness to respect? Andrew Holness is the most disgraceful Prime Minister in our Prime Ministerial office. Andrew Holness is the Prime Minister that brings the office of Prime Minister in our country in disrepute. I personally know of Andrew daughter because I know the mother of Andrew daughter. Andrew don't want to talk about it. We don't know why Andrew don't want to talk about it. But there's nothing to respect about this man. This Prime Minister have 2 court cases going on at the moment. One to block his illicit enrichment probe and his tax evasion probe. And the other, his election irregularity. That's not a good image of a Prime Minister. That's not a good image of a leader. So please, me understand say una synchronized thinking, and unless Andrew start criticizing himself, una not gonna be able to criticize him. However, we are brainstormers. We think even when we're asleep. That's why we dream. All when we're asleep, we still think same way. We not fool like you. We not go give up with country, with rights and with wealth for a man where just continue enriching himself. The only thing can happen in our country going forward is that Andrew Holness get richer. While no farmer development will be done with this billions of US dollar debt where Andrew Holness just put our great-great-grandchildren in. Our great-grandchildren will become slave to the IMF and the World Bank by your Prime Minister. So when your Prime Minister comes, oh, this is the largest support packages ever put together for Jamaica. It was the largest giveaway of anything we have of sovereignty. It is the largest giveaway of our land and our rights and any autonomy we have. So don't go on like we don't like labor rights. A labor right alone cheer bullshit Prime Minister. A labor rights alone don't know a book. A labor rights alone writing a their hand miggle prime minister. So when they do wash their hand, everything come out. So they not remember what did happen. Don't talk to them way there. If we can't threaten you, if the American them can't threaten you, we can't threaten you too. After Donald Trump, no better than we. Jamaica, we have to wake up. I keep telling you we are surrounded. I keep telling you we're in the middle of a war. I keep telling you for the last 2 years about the geopolitical war that we're in the middle of between the Chinese and the Americans. That war is ever so active. You saw the devastation that looks like a nuclear bomb was dropped on a sector of Jamaica. We are in a disaster which was triggered by war. Marcus Garvey tells us, unite Jamaica or perish. We are running out of time. Look behind you. The wall is right up to your back. Thank you very much and good night from Global TV. Join us tomorrow morning for your At a Glance program. Thank you. If you're new to the program, please give us a follow so when we go live, you'll get our notification. And make sure you hit the like button before you go, because that helps us in the algorithm. And the best support that you can give to the program is to make sure you hit the like button. Wanna see how me ask the like button peacefully? Wanna see how me ask peacefully? But anyway, hit the like button and come back to the front line in the morning, right here in the trenches. Thank you and good night.
Too long in our little ghetto, run keep going on, less process. For children of Israel do really love rights. So just a and I as a watchman around Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel, I she never hold thy peace. What wrong is going on? Day or night, we gotta bust down Babylon walls. Prepare and read the way. Prepare and read the way for JLP. Let's go. Fight down war and crime. Fight down. Me say Rastafari. War and crime. And do the righteousness. And we love. And we love Jaja. And we love Jaja.
Rastafari.
And we love Jaja. We love Jaja. We love Jaja.
Rastafari. Preserve all people.
Put time away again. Listen, yeah. Just as I and I as a watchman, I run Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel, I should never hold thy peace, but we penalize day or night. We gonna bust down Babylon gates. Prepare and read the way. Prepare and read the way for Rastafari. Fight down war and crime. Fight down war and crime. Rastafari, war and crime, and build up righteousness. And we love Jah, and we love Jah. Jah Jah.
Rastafari.
Me love Jah Jah.
Jah Rastafari.
Me love Jah Jah.
Jah Rastafari. Preserve all.
Me love Jah Jah.
Jah Rastafari.
Jah Rastafari.
Jah Rastafari.
Yeah, the next song is going to be the last song for tonight.
If you don't like missing out on the latest shows but still enjoy classic hits, then Global TV Group 358 is your perfect match. Global TV Group 358 isn't just another channel, it's your ultimate TV experience. From breaking news to binge-worthy dramas and timeless classics, we've got it all. Our unique blend of original content and global favorites means there's something for everyone. And guess what? With GTVG's seamless streaming, you can watch anywhere, anytime. Plus, our interactive features let you be part of the action. So, whether you're a seasoned binge watcher or a casual viewer, Global TV Group 358 is here to keep you entertained day and night. Don't just watch TV, experience it with Global TV Group 358. Subscribe now and never miss a moment.